Now let us multiply two fractions, 3 over 4 and 2 over 6. How do we do it? We have to multiply the numerators together. 3 times 2 is going to become 6. And then the denominators, 4 times 6 is 24. 6 by 24 is the answer. Now let us see how to mark the fractions on a number line. I've drawn a number line. So this is the number line that you see. And the number line is partitioned into 6. This is 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. I've continued the number line 5/6, 6/6. The value of 6/6 is 1 whole. Why did I partition into 1/6? The reason is in 2/6, in the fraction 2/6, there is a whole 2 in it and times 1/6 in it, right? What is 2 over 6? 2 times 1/6. So that is the reason I partitioned the number line into 1/6. So between each partition or each unit, the value is 1/6. So this is 1/6, this is 1/6. Between each partition or each unit, the value is 1/6. Okay, so now we know that how we partitioned the number line and how we partitioned into 1/6, right? Next, we will see how to mark the question in the number line. How to mark the question in the number line? So 2/6 or 2 over 6. So this part is 2/6, right? So this is the area that we are going to focus right now. That is 2/6. And what is 3/4 or 3 over 4? So 3 over 4, that is 3 over 4 in 1/6. And if you see here, this is 3 over 4 or 3/4 in that 1/6. Okay? We know that the answer is 6 by 24. This 6, let me show you in the number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is a 6, which is in the numerator. And let's see the 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So that is how we got the denominator 24 and the numerator 6 is right here. Let's see the area model. If it is an area model, we have to draw a box and show the area of the fractions. Here we have two fractions, 2 over 3 and 6 over 7, or you can call it as 2/3 times 6/7. This 2/3 can be shown as rows, and this 6/7 can be shown in columns. Okay, so let's see the first fraction, 2/3. 2/3, the total number of rows is 3. if you see here in the area model, the total number of rows is 3. So this is one row. That's one row. Then this is the second row. And this is a third row. There are 3 rows. That is why the denominator is 3. And the numerator is 2 because 2 out of the 3 rows is shaded. So this row is shaded, but not this one. I will tell you why. And this row is also shaded, but not this box. I'll tell you why later. Okay. So 2 rows are shaded out of 3 rows. So the total number of rows is 3 and 2 rows are shaded. Let's see the next fraction, 6/7. The total number of columns, if you see, there should be 7 columns in it. So this is 1 column, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 columns and 6 of the columns are shaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 columns are shaded. So in this problem, we are only working on 2/3, right? So 2/3, so this is 2/3, 1/3, 2/3. And only 6 columns should be shaded, not the 7th one. So only this part has to be shaded. That is 2/3. So this is 2/3. And this is 6 columns out of 7. So that is why we have shaded those parts. And this represents the question 2/3 times 6/7. When we multiply, 2 times 6 is 12 and 3 times 7 is 21. The answer is 12/21. If you see here, 12/21 or 12/21, 12 boxes will be shaded. So 1 box, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 boxes are shaded. That is why the numerator is 12. And let us count the total boxes. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. The total number of boxes is 21. That is why the denominator is 21. So, the shaded part, 12/21 is the answer. The shaded part is 12 and the total number of boxes is 21. So, 12 shaded boxes by total number of boxes 21. So that is the area model for this question. Now let's see the area model for the next question. The fraction is 4/5 times 2/3. For the first fraction, I've shown in rows, 4 shaded rows out of total 5 rows. So I have shaded 4 number of rows. So this is row 1, 2, 3, 4. I have shaded rows out of 5 rows. So this is the 5th row which I have not shaded. Now let me show the columns. So next fraction is 2/3. So 2 shaded columns out of 3. So these 2 columns, 1 column and 2 columns I have shaded. There is 1 more column which I did not shade. So 2 columns out of 3. So this is the area this problem represents. So this is the area the problem represents. 4/5 times 2/3. So How did we get the answer 8 by 15? If you see here, 8 shaded portion must be there. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 shaded portion. And the total number of boxes is 8. Like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The total number of boxes is 15. So that is how we got the 8 by 15. Let's do the next problem. 486 divided by 54. Step number 1. To solve this problem, we have to round the numbers or do the estimation. So when we estimate it or round it, 486 becomes 500 and 54 becomes 50. Now let's do the division. 500 divided by 50. You can cancel the 0, 1 0. And when we divide the 50 by 5, we get the answer 10. Now we have estimated the answer to be 10. Now let's take the actual values, which is 486 and 54, and do the division. When we divide, since we know the estimate answer is 10, the actual answer must be little less than 10. So we can multiply that 54, which is the divisor, with number 9. When we multiply the divisor with 9, we get 486. That is how we know the answer is 9, which is little bit less than 10. So the easy step is to find the estimate, get an answer, and the actual answer must be less than the value of the estimated answer. So next problem, 92 divided by 23. Again, for this problem, it's a bigger number to divide. So let us do the estimation. 92 will become 90 and 23 will become 20. Let's do the estimate first. 90 divided by 20, so 0 and 0 get cancelled. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. We know the estimate is 4.5. Now let us do the actual division. For the values, 92 divided by 23, so 92 is the dividend, you have to write that inside. 23 is the divisor, write the number outside and divide. We know the answer must be less than 4.5, so let us try to multiply this 24 with number 4. So that is how we did this one. Multiply 23 with number 4, we got 92. So the quotient is 4, and write the 92, subtract same number minus same number is 0, so the answer is 4. The next problem, 1/6 of 12. Replace the word of and write a time sign. And then multiply the numerators together. 1 times 12 is 12. And write the denominator as such. So 12 by 6. How many 6 goes in 12? We know that 2 6 goes in 12. The answer is 2. 1/4 of 4/6. What is the value of 4/6? It's 4 over 6. So when the problem is like so, just multiply the numerators. 1 times 4 is 4. And then multiply the denominators. 4 times 6 is 24. Now both are multiples of 4. 4 is a multiple of 4 and 24 is also a multiple of 4. So it becomes, simplify it and it becomes 1 over 6 or 1/6. The next problem, 1/3 of 3/4. So we have to find, so this is 3/4 and we need to find 1/3 of 3/4. So this is the value we have to find. So 1/3 of 3/4, just replace the word of with a time sign and then multiply the numerators. 1 times 3 is 3, and the denominator 3 times 4 is 12. 3 by 12, 3 over 12, and both are multiples of 3. So when we simplify it, it becomes 1 over 4, or 1/4. And in the tape diagram, each box is 1/4. So 1/3 of 3/4 is 1/4. The next problem is 1/4 of 16. We know that 16 is 4 times 4. So when we simplify that, let's find 1 times 4 and then multiply it with 4. For example, 1/4 of 4. So 1/4 of 4, the value is 1. And then let's multiply 1 with the 4 and it becomes 4. Okay, so 1/4 of 4 is 1. And then let's find 1/4 of 16, which is 4 times 4. So we know this value, right? We know 1/4 of, so we know this value. We know, so this is 4 times 4. We know this value, which is 1. And then just multiply 1 and 4, which results in 4. It's an easy and quicker way of doing the problem. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. 1/4 of 8/5. How to write 8/5? 8 over 5. So when we solve, just instead of off, just do the times sign and simplify it. Both are multiples of 4. So you can cross it off and then make a 2 here, and then there's a 1 there. Now do the numerator. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 5 is 5. 2/5 is the answer. The next problem is 1/7 of 5/3. How to write 5/3? 5 over 3. 5 over 3. Let's, instead of this off, let's make a times sign. When you make a times sign, then you multiply the numerators. 1 times 5 is 5, and 7 times 3 is 21. So the answer is 5 over 21. Or now let us do the next problem. 1 over 7, or 1/7 of 5/3. This 5/3 can be written as 5 times 1/3. Remember that? 5 times 1/3. So I've substituted in this step for 5/3. I've substituted 1/3 and times 5. Okay. After this step, let's solve the two fractions. 1/7 times 1/3. So multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1, and the denominator 7 times 3 is 21. So we get the numerator 1 and over 21 in the denominator. After that step, let's do the 5. Multiply the 5. So let's multiply now the whole number 5. So when we multiply it, we get the numerator 5 and the denominator 21. Okay. The next problem, the fraction is a big number, right? Don't panic when you see big numbers in fraction. Try to simplify it. See what are the common multiples. So these are multiples of 9. If you see 45, it is a multiple of 9, and 54 is again a multiple of 9, right? It comes in 9 tables. So divide the numerator by 9, which is here, and also the denominator 54 by 9. So when we divide the numerator by 9, if 45 divided by 9 is 5 and 54 divided by 9 is 6. So we simplified the first fraction 45 over 54 and it became 5 over 6 or 5/6. Now let us write the second fraction 3/6 and subtract. So if you see here, now we have like units 6 and 6 and it's easy to subtract. So write the 6 in the denominator as such and only subtract the numerators. 5 minus 3 is 2. So we have 2 or 6 and still we can simplify it because number 2 and 6 are multiples of 2. So then it becomes 1/3. So 1/3 is the answer. So in this problem I have shown to make like units. So if you see the denominator, it's 4 and 14. We have to make like units in the denominator so that it's easy for us to subtract. How to make like units? First, let us see the multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And then let's write the multiples of 14, which is 14 and 28, and it goes on. Check which is the least common multiple. In 4 and 14, the least common multiple is 28, right? So 28 will be our denominator. How can we get 28 in the denominator? So this 28 is in the 7th position. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th position, and this 28 is in the 2nd position. So multiply the first fraction with number 7 and multiply the second fraction with number 2. So multiplying the first fraction with the 7th position 7 and multiplying the second fraction with the 2nd position 2. So when we multiply, it looks like this. Okay, we have multiplied the fractions now. So when we multiply, we get 3 times 7 is 21 and 4 times 7 is 28. And in minus, the next fraction 9 times 2 is 18 and 14 times 2 is 28. If you see here, now we have like units 28 and 28. It's easy to divide. 21 minus 18 is 3. So the answer is 3 over 28. Now let's see 1/5 of 5/6. We can write the fraction 5/6 as 1/6 times 5. Okay, substitute this value instead of 5/6. So I've substituted here the value instead of 5/6. And then let's simplify. When we simplify, cross off the same numbers, okay, and then multiply the numerator. 1 times 1 is 1 and we have a denominator 6. So 1 over 6, or the answer is 1/6. What is 1/4 of 4? The answer is 1. Same number divided by same number is always 1. In this problem, we have substituted for 4/5. 4/5 can be written as 4 times 1/5. And we know that 4 over 4 is 1. So that is how we got this 1. And the remaining 1/5 I've written here. So this 1/5 goes here. Okay. So multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1 divided by 5. The next problem, so instead of this off, put a times sign. multiply the numerators. 1 times 6 is 6, and write the numerator 3 as such. Because there is a denominator 1 right there, so 3 times 1 will become 3. Okay, so now we can divide 6 divided by 3. How many 3 goes in 6? 2. So that is how we got the answer 2, the quotient 2. The next question, 1/3 of 6/8. What is 6/8? 6 over 8. And this 6/8 can be written as 6 times 1/8, right? So that is what we have done here. We have substituted, instead of 6/8, we have substituted 6 times 1/8 and then simplified it. When we simplify, we get 1/4. Next problem. So this is how we simplify it very easily. Same number divided by same number becomes 1. And then we get 1/5. And the next one, simplify this. And we know that those numbers are multiples of 3. There are 3 goes in 6. So that's how we got 2. And the denominator is 8. So the answer becomes 2/8. And in this problem, instead of this 10/5, 10/8, I have written 10 times 1/8. So that is what I have substituted. And then simplify it. When I simplified, I get 1/4. Next problem, 1/3 times 6/9. So for this, I have written 6 times 1/9. So instead of 6/9, substituted 6 times 1/9 and simplified it. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and that is how I get this 2. Then I wrote the fraction and multiplied it. So I get 2/9. In this problem, it's a bigger number. So find the multiples of the numerator and denominator. 35 is a multiple of 7, and also 49 is a multiple of 7. So let's divide it and make it a smaller value. So 35 divided by 7 is 5, and 49 divided by 7 is 7. So I got 5/7 minus a fraction 5/7, with same fraction minus same fraction, the value is 0. Here, the next problem, we need to subtract it. So we need like units, like we have already seen. I wrote all the multiples for 8 and I wrote all the multiples of 6. And I found the least common multiple in both, which is 24. So the denominator has to be 24. To get 24, we need to multiply the fraction with the position. The first fraction with, this is in the third position, so multiply the first fraction with the third position, and then this multiply the second fraction minus, multiply the second fraction with the fourth position, which is the 4. So that is why we got 21/24 minus, so this minus goes here, minus 20/24. If you see here, we got like units in the denominator, 24 and 24, and it's easy to divide. 21 minus 20 is 1/24 is the answer.